putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Hey, fellow patriots, you're listening to the Kevin Jackson Show on KJRadio.com. This is Liz Matory, your guest host for today. And again, thank you so much for checking in and sticking with us. Really do appreciate your support. So let's get back into it. So we were talking about, the actual use of propaganda and, getting some more context as to what we're seeing. I just wanted to share with you a couple of, quotes from these books that I had mentioned before. This one is, as I said, The Crowd, a study of the popular mind. Just think about this stuff. It's like amazing, right? When you consider the fact that when a person enters a crowd, quote, his intellectual standard is immediately and considerably lowered. I mean, dude, the guy's really breaking down the reality of it all. Before it says the progressive growth of the power of the masses took place at first by a propagation of certain ideas which have slowly implanted themselves in men's minds, and afterwards by a gradual association of individuals bent on bringing about a realization of theoretical conceptions. Let's take 2A. I think that that's a big thing that we've been talking about for quite some time. If you have a constitutional right that's been in there since, the 1700s, and all of a sudden now you're wanting to get rid of it, think about what they're doing. And again, I welcome it, not necessarily, I really don't want people to die, I really don't. But the more that folks push on the NRA, I'm a member of the NRA, by the way, and I don't mind stating that. First of all, I didn't even know that we got all these discounts, man. I was like, what? We got discounts just because of membership? I didn't know about that. Anyway, oh well. The more that the left pushes this agenda, they, I think, are hitting our own valuable citizenship too hard. I would say 2A in taking away our right to defend ourselves equitably. For example, if we are supposed to arm ourselves against, overzealous government, and if the government has, they always talk about the AR-15. Okay, if the government has an AR-15 and you have a Beretta, no offense to Beretta, but you have a handgun, they have an AR-15, who's winning that battle? People forget, I'm not trying to say that, individual citizens need tanks and stuff, but the whole point is to be able to defend yourself from harm. One of my friends has her own ammunition company here, and she talks about, the importance of women being armed, and she says, it's not an assault rifle, it's a defense rifle. Again, we got to get better at how we use language. The left, they're so good at it. They're so good at using words and galvanizing, power around them, getting, again, the crowd to think and move the direction that they want. We have to kind of use the same similar tactics in order to get rid of or negate the impact that the left already has on our society. So case in point, if they say assault rifle, assault rifle, assault rifle, we say back to them, you mean a defense rifle, a defense rifle, a defense rifle. Most of us, 99.99% of law-abiding citizens become well-trained, aren't using these because they want to run around killing people. Why are we making laws that people have said this before, but we have to reiterate it and repeat it over and over and over again? Any law, any change of law is only going to affect the rest of us, not the people who want to do harm. Case in point, I live in a sanctuary county called Montgomery County. We, next week, are actually going to testify in Annapolis to block once again our state becoming a sanctuary state. These leftists, kid you not, have taken over our state so much that I hope that your states out there are not in the position that we are here in Maryland. Kid you not. Like, you can't even like make an argument, a statement, sort of very neutral about how much of an amazing impact unlawful entrants have made to a society. Again, you don't know how many people are here that there aren't supposed to be here. That's not a racist statement. That's a fact. And you have, let's say you have some, legislators or elected officials who, they want to win, they want to stay where they are. And so, and by the way, they already have the black vote in their pocket. What do? They pander. The word that I love to call is hispandering. Remember when Hillary was talking about her abuela, or she's an abuela? I'm like, girlfriend, you ain't an abuela. It's okay. Anyway, sorry. Golly. That's the reason why we weren't with her. Anyway, so you take unlawful entrants, you take illegal aliens, you take, the message there is, there's no unlawful or illegal humans, we have to have compassion. Shoot. The reason why I'm still searching for a congregation is because in my Catholic church, the one that I go to every day, every Sunday, they talk about, how we need to make sure that we have immigration. People, immigration is an actual thing. Like my mom and my aunt and my uncle, they came over here legally from the Philippines. Nowadays, it takes 24 years to come here from the Philippines. So are you telling me that my Filipino friends and the people who want to come here now, they have to wait 24 years, but these mama jammas can stay here for 24 years and, oh, by the way, get granted citizenship with a friggin' snap of a finger? Like, the hypocrisy of the left is real, and we need to push back. Again, that's the reason why more of us, quote unquote, people of color, need to educate ourselves and stand firmly in our principles, because we need to make the case, because our voices are the ones that have been marginalized by the left. Think about it. If you go back to, again, the founding of the Republican Party, and the reason why my book is called Born Again Republican is that blacks, former slaves, freed people, were Republicans initially. We were never meant to be Democrats in the first place. We only started becoming Democrats in the 60s, and you all know this. And again, if you want to trace back to when and how and why our society got screwed up, and I'm talking about everybody, not just black folks, it goes back to that moment. And now that we have millions of folks who are now trying to make all the rest of us second-class citizens, oh, by the way, because when they break our rules and they rape and pillage, they get let go on a bond of $1,500, and then we are like rotting in prison or rotting in jail with a $25,000 bond. I mean, we as the other marginal, I don't know, these words are just so bogus, but you know what I mean. The people of color, if you're going to talk about people of color, and you're talking about citizenship, and you're talking about equity, you talk about, equal rights, then bring it. We know that we have been suffering under certain, lack of equality for several different many things. Why are we now all of a sudden allowing for people who don't have right and permission to be in this country literally get away with murder? That's how bad it is here in Maryland. We need, or in California, for gosh sakes. That is what happens when we do not have a strong counterweight. That is the reason why we as conservatives, it's the reason why, yes, as Republicans, more of us need to challenge the system. More of us need to run for office. I decided last month to throw my hat back in the ring, because we will be losing our country, because, again, they are winning the messaging war. They are winning the, hearts and minds war. And we are sort of thinking that we have all the time in the world, but we really, really don't. Like, we actually have the votes on our side. They cannot win national elections. That literally is the reason. I've seen the numbers. I've been in the rooms. You know what I mean? They whiteboarded out. They put out percentages, and they know that they've lost average American votes. Voters do not vote for them anymore. Americans don't vote for Democrats anymore on a national scale. And so what they do, and all they want to do, is impeach our president and get back the power that they lost immediately. They are willing to do anything and everything in their power. They are willing to destroy our country in order to get their power back.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.